Hello and welcome back to Words in Stars. I'm Eleanor and today we're going to talk about series I haven't yet finished. The first I'm going to talk to you about is Dreams and Shadows by C. Robert Cargill. I read this book probably back in 2014-ish when it came out and I loved it. It was probably one of the first proper adult fantasies I read that didn't shy away from showing the dark side of like magical creatures like fairies and stuff like that. So I'm going to read you the blurb because I haven't read this since I was 16 and therefore cannot really remember what it's about. It begins with a love story, a love that is almost too sweet, too perfect. From that love comes a child. Life is wonderful. Until something unspeakably vile scuttles out of the shadows and steals the child away, leaving a changeling in its place. But this is no ordinary fairy tale. C. Robert Cargill has written a modern American tale, a tale that twines the real world with the supernatural, a tale of fairy changed, a fairy that has danced alongside our world. It is a realm that we visit with two boys. It is a dark, dark place to grow up. So the reason I didn't finish the series was through sheer forgetfulness on my part. When it came out, I didn't know that there was a second intended, and then when I found out there was a second intended, I just kept forgetting to buy it, and now so many years have passed that I can't remember what happens in this one. I remember really liking Cargill's writing style, and I remember just being captivated by the world and the characters. I'm really excited to get back into the dark world of fairy. This kind of teeters on the edge of the little folk kind of fae, ones that look different and they're more folklore fairy types from what I can remember. Next we have the Vampire Academy series. I loved this series. There was someone at my school that we used to talk about it all the time because we loved these characters and we just fell in love with Dimitri. Shock. I remember the first one because I saw the film. I feel like I can remember glimmers of what happens later on, but not really. I kind of want to read them again and pick up where I left off. I have two of the different cover styles. We've got the nice, gorgeous red covers. That's the third one. This is the wrong order. And then this one, which I don't really like. Luckily, I managed to get it so they are alternate, which is cool. And my idea at the time was to continue that alternate pattern because normally I like all my covers to match, but this happened and I was like, well, might as well embrace the chaos. But then of course I couldn't find the fourth one in this cover, and then they stopped making these covers, and now I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll just find them from a library and not have to deal with any of the trauma or expenditure when the library's open again. Rochelle Mead spun a really good series here back when vampires were cool. I kind of want to get back into that. I loved the vampire books and I'm kind of itching for them to make their way back, but in a good way. Insert Midnight Sun cringe here. Vampire books were a big thing for me. I did get sick of them eventually, but it's been quite a good number of years now, so it would be really cool to see them make a bit of a comeback. But either way, they can make a comeback in my life if I finally get around to finishing Vampire Academy. Next is a series that no doubt all of you know and have probably read and loved, and I'm really sorry for what I'm about to say. And that is A Dark Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm very conflicted about this series because it was massive when the first one came out, and so I got it, was like, yeah, I'm gonna love this, everybody loves this, it's gonna be amazing. And honestly, I was kind of underwhelmed. I really struggled with the writing. Kind of took a while to pull me in, and I just wasn't really engaged in the story. I didn't really care about the characters particularly. I was just generally not as excited by it as everybody else was, and I felt kind of weird for that. But then a few years later, I got swept up in the hype again, and I thought, hey, maybe I was wrong, maybe I'll try again. So I bought the second one, A Gathering of Shadows. Had to reread the first one because I'd forgotten everything that happened. I was more captivated in the first time, but still not like blown away. Read the second one, sort of cared, sort of didn't, and really the only thing that makes me want to finish the series is because I need to know what happens. I like the concept. I really like the concept, and I see why people love it, but there's something about it that just doesn't excite me. I probably won't finish the series unless someone forces me to, or unless someone like puts the third book into my hands, just finish it. So this series is another big one. It was big when it came out, and that is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I was very kindly bought these by my lovely friend Angus, who is just Angus on BookTube. If you don't know him already, you should definitely go and check him out because his videos bring me joy. I really love these. Children have magic and it's scares adults basically, and they lock them away if they show signs of it. Our main character Ruby is one of the more dangerous children because of the type of magic that she possesses. So I have the first two books, The Darkest Minds and Never Fade, and the third book is called In the Afterlight, and I just don't have it. I, again, will give you the excuse of the covers won't match because these are stunning, but one of the main reasons why I didn't buy the third book is because I couldn't get hold of this exact edition. I think these are American, made obvious by the fact that the pricing is in US and Canadian dollars. Good sleuthing, Eleanor. I couldn't seem to get hold of In the Afterlight in the same edition, which annoyed me because these are like quite a lot bigger than normal books are, especially compared to books in the UK. Like, also these are really heavy. Like, I don't know what you guys are putting in your books over there, but these are ridiculously heavy. Like, these weigh like 3 books in one. I don't understand what's in them. Like, our UK editions are just never going to match this. So it's a lousy excuse, but it's an excuse nonetheless. That is why I don't have the third one. I intend to read the third one at some point. Just gonna have to bite the bullet and buy the UK version of the new covers since these aren't printed anymore. One day I will finish this series. Finally, this is another adult fantasy, and it's a little bit different from the kind of fantasy I normally read, and that is A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I've been eyeing this book up for a long time because, honestly, the cover is stunning. We can say don't judge a book by its cover as much as we want, but we all do it. I got it for like £1, £2, and I adored it. I've read the second one, and I have the third one on my TBR. I'm just kind of slow to read them. That's the only reason why I haven't finished the series yet. I seem to read one a year. They're really good, easy summer reads for me. I don't know why, but I read this one in a day, sat in the garden in the sun. I did the same with the second one. So my camera decided to stop recording partway through my discussion of A Natural History of Dragons. I'm going to read you the blurb of this one because I think this is a series that not many people have read. You, dear reader, continue at your own risk. It is not for the faint of heart, no more so than the study of dragons itself. From Scotland to the farthest reaches of Erebor, Lady Trent is known to be the world's preeminent dragon naturalist, who brought the study of dragons into the clear light of modern science. But before she became the illustrious figure we know today, there was a bookish young woman whose passion for learning defied the stifling conventions of her day. Here at last, in her own words, is the true story of a pioneering spirit who risked her reputation, her prospects, and her fragile flesh to satisfy her scientific curiosity, of how she sought true love and happiness despite her lamentable eccentricities, and of the thrilling expedition to the perilous mountains of Vitriana, to where she made the first of many historic discoveries that would change the world forever. Now, as you can tell by the blurb, this is told from Lady Trent's perspective of her youth, and I find it honestly incredible that Marie Brennan has done that, because she's taking on a different persona who's writing about their own youth. And I don't know if that's just me, but I honestly find that pretty amazing. A Natural History of Dragons is the first in the series that follows Lady Trent's memoirs, so it's her initial fight to go and study dragons, and how she gets there and who she meets along the way. I'm really excited to get through the rest of the series to see the incredible figure that she apparently is in this fictional world. This kind of roots in Victorian society here because there's a gender element where Lady Trent can't go and study because it's not proper for a woman, and there's all sorts of barriers like that she has to get around, which makes her such an incredible character because she's so determined to study regardless of what people say, regardless of what her mother and society says. She's just a really cool, powerful character with a fierce heart and good, solid humour. So if you're looking for a book that talks about dragons, is a little bit different from your average fantasy, then I highly suggest this series. So that's all from me. I hope you've all stuck with me, and having a look at these series has sparked some interest of your own. Maybe encourage you to pick up a series that you've not finished yet. If you've read any of these series, or you think I definitely need to finish some of these series, then please let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about them. So once again, give this video a little like, maybe subscribe. You can find me on Instagram at Words in Stars the same, and my blog is also Words in Stars, so I'll leave those links down below. Thank you for watching. I hope you're all safe, I hope you're all well, and I hope you're all reading. Bye! Welcome to BookTube, Tilly.